Hey everybody, and welcome to the stream. We are back for another D&D campaign session of the Seregen campaign we've got going on. We're at session 51. Cannot believe we are here. 2 years in. Whole group's here. Let's let them introduce themselves. Go ahead, guys.
2 years. Hype. I am the Banewall, and I will be playing Belzian Gilkis, the half-elf monk. Hiya!
I'm Amadeus, and I'm playing Roger Mays, the Wood Elf Assassin. Wood Elf Assassin? Yes.
And I'm Shade. I'll be playing the human paladin Ulrich. Insert joke.
What a cool last name.
I am Jaeger, and I play Yarvik Venisonbringer, the half-elf. Half-elf. I keep saying half-elf. It's like 3 times in a row I've done that. Halfling ranger, who had a very good nap and is ready to play some D&D this session.
I'm Zippo, the dog who set into the realization, or that dog, the kobold sorcerer who set into the realization he's going to outlive his dog and is going to have to go on a murder spree at some point after that.
And I, of course, am the Wombat of DM, and we are here for another session. Let's catch you up on what you missed, because some of you did actually miss it, and some of you were technically, character-wise, asleep for it. So, we got the hell away from that tear that opened up 2 sessions ago, and headed due east and then due north along the mountain range to try and avoid anything that came out of that crevice's wrath, and we're mildly successful with some creepy sounds here and there and some disturbing images here and there, but for the most part everything was fine. But eventually the wrath did catch up with the group as these bug-like, human-like things with long needles for mouths attacked the party at night. At that point, the party had kind of mixed rest, so they hadn't encountered anything yet, so they were at full strength, but they ended the fight without really too much in the way of getting a full night's rest. So, but the fight, these creatures caused Yarvik to become unconscious for the entirety of the battle, with some sort of droning sound that they created. The rest of the group saved against it, and with some trouble managed to dispatch the creatures. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that's where we left off, with us ending the combat. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yep, I don't have anything in my notes after that.
Okay.
Sounds right to me.
Yep, that's my recollection.
So we'll basically pick up where we left off in terms of. Let me just double check to make sure we are on the page. Yep. So the page was kind of in a foresty area, and then we kind of kind of ended combat from there. So the group is kind of brushing themselves off. Yarvik has kind of just been startled awake. It's still night, and these foul humanoid creature things are kind of laying about on the ground, kind of stinking up the place.
Yarvik, wake up. It's time to
Hang
go
on
to
a
sleep.
second. There is something else that we missed. If you recall, the group, I believe, did push north and encountered some tents.
Yeah, that's right. We were
Yep.
debating if we take the
Oh,
loot.
sorry.
and
For
we
some
were like,
reason,
oh, what if it was their body?
Wait,
Right.
wasn't the tents before?
Was the tents
Or was that
before?
after?
Maybe
I
they
don't
were
remember.
before.
I think it was after because I was injured, and I'm injured right now. Because I was
Right,
injured in a
we
fight.
Okay.
were pretty tired, and
Both in and out of character. So let me describe the tent thing real quick for everybody's benefit. So there were 3 tents. All 3 seemed to be gashed open. There was some evidence of some sort of skirmish, but for the most part, there was only evidence of one. I believe one Eternal Clan member who seemed to have been destroyed. The armor was kind of eaten away at in terms of like the armor had kind of looked like it had been hit by an acid or something like that. It had rusted away. And then the other 2 tents were empty. There were, I think, one of the party members, I believe it was Yarvik, saw tracks leading northeast. Yeah, I can't remember if that was before or after the battle. I believe we ended with the battle, maybe, but
No, check the survival check in the D20 rolls.
yeah.
You can see my check
Yeah.
for looking for tracks.
Yep. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so that was where we left off. Yes. So I think the group decided to continue west at that point, and we ended session there. I believe that's what happened. I apologize for not catching up
That
at the
is
end.
right. My bad.
Yeah, we decided we didn't want to tangle with that because that's not our mission.
So that's where we are.
Well, that was quite the battle and travel, hey, gang? I totally remember all of it.
Indeed.
So, do we keep going? Do we want to keep going through the rest of the night, try to put a little distance between us, or do we want to try to finish out this rest session? So I know some of you guys still need sleep.
So it
We
is
gotta
currently
go somewhere.
day.
Yeah.
The group decided that if they got attacked once, to push forward and try and put further distance between them and the gate, the rift, the tear, whatever you want to call it, and then we encountered the tents. So
Yeah, because they attacked on the third watch.
yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, I thought I saw him, and I said, you know what, fight or flight, fireball or firebolt, and hit him.
Right.
It would have been really interesting had you not alerted anybody, because if they had gotten close enough, the group would have been one save away from potentially all being attacked and like if you had failed to save, you would have been unconscious while they're just kind of eating away at the whole group, which would have been interesting.
Sketchy.
Most battle ready in the party. Don't know what it is, shoot it. The fire. More ball. I don't have fireball yet.
Spell first, ask questions later.
Exactly.
Sounds like good details for a spelling bee.
Mm. Excuse me.
I say we press forward, then get to this meeting and let them know that this tear has happened and we need, mega help.
Oh yes, we're certainly going to be the bearer of some bad news.
Sure thing.
Oh, so that's the plan. We're just gonna fast forward to the meeting.
Oh, just travel. I mean, yeah. If
All right. So you walk into town. You head straight to the council, and they say, "You're a couple sessions early, guys. We'll see you in a few days." No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, sorry, we must have got our timetables mixed up.
So what you're saying is we get a couple of sessions in town to just party.
Yes.
We walk
That's
in,
what the
we step up on the table to speak to them all. Table's a mimic. They're all mimics. Building's a mimic.
The town's a
Clothes
mimic
are
town.
mimics.
I wonder why they called it Mimic Mountain. But yes, I believe our bearing, we're making our way to Saraseta. We're kind of in the middle of the mountains here.
I can't see the map.
Oh, you can't see the map.
Try refreshing.
I have Dark Reader on. I turned it off. Dark Reader used to work with Roll20, but now it doesn't for some reason.
Now, are the rivers slightly north of us, are they black or just really dark blue?
Really dark blue.
Okay.
I think we're playing
Like we're all trying to scout out the proper path. Right.
The darker it is, the shallower it is. The lighter it is, the deeper it is.
I think the
If we-
plan was to cut through the gap and then travel north through the Halfling clan.
Yeah, to put the mountain between us and the tear.
A terrible tear.
I believe
These
that.
ain't two of them.
I agree. That's my recollection.
Can we see the tear from where we are?
Not anymore.
Okay.
All right. So what we're doing?
So we're going along the mountains to get through that a little cut in the mountains to the east or west, and then heading through the north. You know, the Halfling clan territory. My God, my words.
Yeah, we're all just kind of a little bit blundery today, aren't we? All right. All right. While you're
Look at us
traveling,
go.
go ahead.
Look at us go. I saw the little tiny dot move. I was really excited.
So, I have another question. So, yeah, as a reminder, it's not a question anymore. I remembered. So as a reminder, the group did think about abandoning the dinosaur mounts, in favor of getting away faster using Belzian's flight. But I believe instead we elected to ride the mounts away, correct?
Yes.
Wait, was I still transformed the entire last session?
No.
No.
You only had an hour left.
All right. This
And then
changes
we
everything.
changed you back into a dinosaur, and then you got stuck in a dinosaur because you stayed in it for too long. And that's the rules with Animorphs. So
Dude, I love those books. They were so good.
yeah, they're great. So Tobias is in the party in spirit, and in physical form he is a Tyrannosaurus. I mean, Belzian.
Our mounts are Parasaurolophuses, right?
Yeah, Paralophosaurus.
So we keeping them or no?
Yeah, we've kept them.
Okay, I named mine Tobias.
Nice. All right, so while the group is mounted and moving, what is the plan? What is your direction? Tell me what you're doing, what you're looking for, what you're not doing, what you're not looking for, and I will take note of all of those things.
Generally speaking, I would say Ulrich is keeping on the lookout for any kind of signs of other tears or other demonic forces. This is the path that Ulrich would like to roughly go along, and he is also kind of trying to keep on a lookout for a potential place that looks relatively safe to rest for the evening, because it is not having had that rest as much last night.
Yeah, maybe there'll be like a cave or something cool.
Yep, pretty much. We just appear to be in traveling mode.
Okay, so that's 2 people. Zippo, you doing anything?
Zippo's very crudely drawing those bug things we fought, and also every time he'll draw like a piece of it, and then he'll go back to the picture of the one that is of like his the demon he used to serve, and he'll like put a little X next to it, and then if anybody asks, the X's are how many times he's gonna kill it.
Roger?
No, I don't have anything special that I'm doing.
All right.
Cue adventure walking the land music.
Well, more like riding the land, right? You're on these giant dinosaurs, so.
Dynamite.
All right, as you've come around the mountain, you do see that this is a fairly wide valley. It kind of does remind Yarvik of some of the valleys within the reach between the mountains of Gideon and the mountains of Jane. The mountain pass seems to be kind of a natural space between the mountain range. So it's not like it was mined out or anything like that. It's just a whoever created these mountains just took a nice breath here before moving forward with their exploits, right? So ultimately speaking, the mountain pass kind of lays out before you. You can see that it's kind of relatively level as out. The mountains on each side kind of rise up, and despite it being a wide valley, with the height of these mountains and the lowness of this valley, it almost feels a little claustrophobic, almost like a funnel, right? You get the sense that there's no hiding in this valley, that you're going to see whoever's in the valley, and whoever's in the valley is going to be able to see you too. There's not really much in the way of tree cover. It's pretty barren. There's rocks that have, fallen off the mountains and things like that, but the cliffs are fairly sheer here. There's no going up the mountain on either side very easily. So that's kind of what lays out before you in terms of this valley.
So not be an ideal place to get caught. Just doing anything. Do I see a lot of when I'm looking around? I could do a check. Does it look like an area where there's a lot of water movement? Like if you're in the desert, you'll see like washes and gullies and stuff like that where fast moving waters come through before, or like animal tracks, anything like that.
There does seem to be some runoff that leads south or northeast of you, in streamlets that kind of gather at the middle of the valley and move southeast, presumably toward the river at large that you encountered earlier.
Just communicate to the kids. This looks strangely familiar. Kind of reminds me of home. I'm not sure why.
I mean, I've been about Seregen quite a bit. I can see this looking like some areas.
I would say if somebody were going to spring a trap, this would probably a pretty good place to do it. There's not really any place to go.
Does the weather look nice today?
It's overcast.
It's not like raining or anything.
The clouds are hugging the mountains. You can't actually see the top of the mountains at this point. The clouds are lower today.
But no like rain or anything. No,
No,
not yet.
not at the moment.
Okay. So let me know if it starts raining.
Okay. Any reason?
I want to use my ability to make it not rain on us.
Okay. Control weather.
Yeah, it's storm guide. You gain the ability to subtly control the weather around you. If it's raining, you can use an action to cause the rain to stop falling in a 20-foot radius. If it's windy, you can use your bonus action to change the wind.
Is that a 20-foot radius fixed or that follows you?
It says around you, so I'm assuming it follows you. You control the weather around you. If it's raining, you can use an action to cause the rain to stop falling in a 20-foot radius. That's all it says.
Is it a target of self?
What's it called again?
Storm guide is the ability I'm using.
It's like I'm getting a picture in my head of the reverse Charlie Brown rain cloud.
Storm sorcery. Okay. Okay. So this is a... This is from the homebrew for the Storm Sorcerer, right? No.
It must be, because I'm not familiar with it, Josh.
Storm Guide. Yeah, it's a thing. Let's see here.
Okay. Not bad.
It's from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
That would explain it.
Anyway, I will continue looking at that. Feel free to continue here.
Set a trap, you say, Yarvik. Are you suggesting we should set a trap?
Well, no, I don't think we need to. I don't think we're trying to ambush anybody. It's just if we were, we're in a canyon with no cover and very exposed, and we're going to be in it for a while. So I would just say we should be wary.
Makes sense.
Works for me.
I mean, does this look like a trade route? Like this would be it seems like it would be an ideal trade route. Do we see like tracks for other large pack animals or carts or whatever they would use? I'm just curious.
Was that to me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you ask it one more time?
Just does this look like a trade route? You know, do we see tracks or anything constant? Where there would be, flow of traffic, stuff like that. I'm just curious.
You could do a survival check. There is some evidence of travel on in this valley, but it's a wide valley, so there's no real road that you can see. At least nothing maintained. But yeah, you're certainly not the first to have walked this valley. Anybody else have any questions?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay, so you continue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go.
Kenji, you okay? You got earwax? All right, I'll clean you out at the break. Okay, so let's see here. Sorry, it wasn't Tasha's, it's Xanathar's. Storm Guide. If it's raining, you can use an action to cause the rains to stop falling in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on you. You can end this effect as a bonus action. So basically, you use an action to make the rain stop falling in a 20-foot radius. That's pretty much it. So like you can spend an action every 6 seconds to do that. I'm guessing is what that means. Because you you can end the effect. So yeah, it'll follow you. It looks like yeah. Yep.
I haven't had a chance to use it yet. So like every time we're out traveling, I'm like, hopefully it rains.
All right. You just got that, right?
No, I've had it for a minute. I've been trying to use like the change wind thing, but it doesn't really.
Yeah, you need
have
to
any
rain
bonuses.
before you change wind, I believe.
It hasn't been a lot of useful.
Yeah. Okay. The group heads into the valley. And it begins getting dark. Especially because the valley is, between mountain ranges. It's getting dark a lot earlier than normal as the sun kind of disappears behind the mountains. Yeah, I know it's kind of a relatively east to west situation, but these mountains are tall and it's not directly east-west, so that doesn't help. Ulrich, you did not find any place to name shelter. There's no caves that you can see. There's loose rocks kind of closer to the slopes, but nothing substantial enough that you could, fashion a shelter between rocks or something like that.
Right.
Think of it more like a scramble.
Mm-hmm. Just continue to push on.
Okay. When is the party going to stop traveling?
I wonder if we keep going, maybe we'll find something like an inn.
Yeah, it's certainly possible.
Or even just a particularly big rock to hide behind.
But I think we should probably try and bed down. At least by, a little bit before sunset.
We're pretty good at taking watch, so regardless of what happened last time we tried to rest, let's try it again.
That happens to every party sometime.
Yeah, once in a while. Remember that bone snake thing? We got this.
Yeah.
How fast are our mounts? How much ground do we cover in a day versus walking?
Quite a bit. Kind of a square and a quarter square and a half, depending on the terrain.
Okay.
Instead of a square a day.
Yeah, I say we post up around sundown. Probably gonna have.
Well, see, that's why I'm asking, because it is sundown right now, but it's not night. You see what I mean?
Oh, I apologize. Then yeah, I think that we should be starting to bed down, soon, because yeah, there's nowhere that looks great as a shelter, but traveling in night's just going to be hard, and we don't want to push the mountains too much.
But also, the light's funny in the mountains. It cuts off quicker, so.
That's fair. Maybe another
Maybe.
hour and a half.
And maybe after we're clear of the mountains, we can press on more through the night. Like in a couple days. Because we got some pretty big news to impart to society.
I don't know. We don't. I mean, maybe they have like stuff like this happen all the time.
I mean, I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually, but I would prefer they're forewarned.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't warn them. I'm just saying maybe like we'll go in thinking it's big news, and they'll just like, oh yeah, another tear. Dang, gotta go put that guy back in there again.
Maybe.
All right, you travel another hour or two before Ulrich calls a halt, and the party pulls up short and makes camp. What is camp for tonight? Define it for me.
It's like we're sleeping on rocks.
It's grassy in the middle of this canyon.
Probably
Valley.
no point in lighting a fire.
Yeah, I think fire's probably gonna be a pretty bad idea out here right now.
We never get to light fires anymore.
Oh, it's so lame.
Always on the run.
We're pretty busy people.
We're on a mission from God.
It would be nice to have a relaxing trek through the wilderness at some point.
Well, you did have a fire in your room in Ildren.
That's true. It's nice to feel like the environment isn't hunting us. Roger would like to maybe run a little less when this adventure is over. He's going to live a long life, and he's going to sit down for a lot of it.
Get a rocking chair.
Back in my day.
So I guess the camp would be a dark camp. We're probably just setting our bedrolls on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless we have a tent. I'm pretty sure we never had a tent.
In fact, I will go ahead and cast Dark Vision on any members of the party that require it, including myself.
Thank you.
I think that's 2 counts.
Well, yeah, I guess since the break was, I don't know, did we count a rest? Did what we do last time, did that count as a rest, or is that not counting as a rest?
It was a short rest. It didn't count as long. And I would say that yours was not a natural rest, so it didn't count for you either, even though you were unconscious, because it was an attack, a forced rest. Blue Warrior is hungry, or Blue Warrior is exhausted.
Blue Wizard needs hug badly.
All right, who's doing watches,
Ulrich.
and in what order?
Are we all exhausted currently? Sorry, I missed.
I apologize. I didn't really mean to click that.
Okay. So who's taking first what?
Well, let's pair somebody with dark vision with somebody without dark vision.
That's a brilliant plan.
Ulrich will take first watch.
Oh. I'll take any watch.
I'm gonna have Roger trance for the first watch. That way, he can be awake for half of second watch and all of third watch.
Yarvik will take second as usual.
First watch crew, let's go.
Third
Right.
watch. Woot woot.
I love how excited we get about watches. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, you worship the clock face gods. Why wouldn't you get excited about watches?
Ha.
Eh,
Makes sense.
Come on, that was a good one.
that was a pretty good one.
All right. So first watch consists of who?
Ulrich and Belzian.
Thank you. So my brain is very slippery tonight. I'm not sure why. It's just been one of those days.
Brain
We're all
should
kind
be
of having
slippery.
a smooth brain, dude.
Yeah, my brain
Yeah.
is super smooth.
Oh,
Your brain's probably wet.
yeah. Wet and slippery.
All right. So first watch. Go ahead and roll your perception checks and state your interactions.
18. Unless, actually, sorry, were we supposed to be exhausted? I just clicked that by mistake.
At this point, it's been over 24 hours since you've had a good rest, but you did have a short rest. As long as you sleep tonight, you won't have exhaustion.
Okay, thank you.
Just, nothing changed on my character sheet since I was gone last session. Did Belgian not get hit by anything?
I
Or
feel
are they
like
busy
you
being
did, but and I did check your character sheet before we started, and I was kind of perplexed by it, but I shrugged it off for now.
I think it's because I turned Belzin into a T-Rex like almost
I
immediately.
think that was most of the hits that he took, actually, was as the T-Rex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be.
Yeah, I was
Remember
like,
when
oh,
I turned
T-Rex.
into a
but it
I
was
wasn't joking that you were a T-Rex. I just didn't say when it happened.
I thought you were joking. Oh gosh.
Nope, that was
I have to
real.
listen to the VOD. So Ulrich, remember when I turned into a T-Rex? I definitely don't. I think the T-Rex's brain is too small to imprint memories.
That's a good point. That's exactly what happened. It's instantly canon. Very good.
That's,
And an inspiration to boot.
All right.
True, I guess. I don't know much about T-Rex brains.
Well, I feel like they got the big head, but like the small brain, because the ones that we saw were not tactically sound. At least
That
the-
does. You've never ran into a T-Rex before, have you?
Didn't we encounter two T-Rexes on the way?
before getting on this side of the wall.
Oh yes, let me think. Yeah, we are pretty light on T-Rexes back in Seregen.
Right.
So no.
Okay.
How about you?
Nope. I just thought they were, fun things in books.
Yeah,
And
kind of
in
like
that-
land dragons.
Yeah. Oh, there was I remember there was a play about that had a T-Rex in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Something about a park.
Ah, yes, I think I may have read the scripts of that one. The tale of the Park of the Jurassics or something.
Yeah, something like that. Some stupid wizard
Yeah, a
making,
wizard did it. Yeah.
making T-Rexes from frogs. Anywho. Yeah. Hopefully we don't have any trouble tonight.
Hopefully not. Those things last time sounded pretty freaky, even though my T-Rex brain did not remember.
Yeah. You see anything?
With my 26 perception, yes, probably, if there are things to see.
The overcast sky remains in place. There's no moonlight. It's very dark. With your vision, you still can see, but there's not really much out there. Especially since there's not much wild, like fauna in the area. Or flora in the area. There's not much fauna either. Smaller creatures. You hear the cry of owls. They seem to be like large sounding owls, but they're familiar sounding. You know, the hoot is kind of unmistakable. It's just a little creepier when it's like booming and big. But yeah, for the most part, not much you can see or hear, even with that great roll. You kind of hear the hoots kind of echo through the valley, kind of bouncing off the walls of the mountains.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll hear any danger coming.
Perhaps if they're as loud as these owls. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's only one owl and it's echoing. We are in
That.
a valley.
Alright, let's get them up.
Second watch, let's go!
I feel so much better rested this time.
Belzine and Ulrich are already asleep.
Yeah.
I listened to
Immediately.
I listened to the sound of crickets.
I'll be awake in another hour or two.
They mentioned an owl briefly before they passed out, and you're not sure what owl they're talking about. It's fairly quiet. You can hear the wind whistling through the valley. It's dark. It's lonely. Not much going on.
Just gonna sit here and contemplate how I found myself in this situation and the life choices that got me here.
As you contemplate those things, you remember once upon a time picking up a hat with a simple K on it, and how it all kind of started from there.
Yarmik is determined when he gets to Saraseta to see if he can find another Carl's. Yarmik is convinced that there is a Carl's in every major city in Seregen. You just have to find it. I'm also going to put the hat on. Just because.
All right, Roger, you wake up in a couple hours. Are you relieving Jorvik?
I'll stay up with Yarvik till the end of his watch and then join Zippo
Okay,
in third watch.
sounds good.
Guess I can roll perception for the remainder of second watch.
There's absolutely nothing going on but a very noisy owl.
Well, an owl that you can't hear, Jaeger. The owl.
I thought I could hear it, but I couldn't tell what kind.
No, you couldn't hear it. With that 9, you couldn't hear it. It was too far away.
Can I hear the owl?
Yeah, it's distant, but you can hear it.
Oh yeah, I hear the owl.
That was a 15 to beat. All right, so yeah, with your 21 perception, it's a fairly quiet night, which you're relieved to experience. And time comes due for Yarvik to take his leave, unless you have things to converse.
Yarvik's gonna go pass out.
Enjoy your rest.
Nope, so he's already out. Already didn't even hear it.
Hey, Zippo.
Yeah.
Good morning. Is the owl still making noise?
No. The owl has either gone for other territory or settled down.
You see any demons, Zippo?
All the time.
I mean, besides the four of us.
No, man. Wait, there's 5 of us.
I'm not counting yourself, of course.
I mean, I feel like I should be like number 1 on that list, but okay. I appreciate the thoughts that I ain't. I'm kind of wanting to, meet some more of these people, see what I'm really expecting, one of these people, one of these clans to have like, water elementals, and hopefully, I could talk to Atlan through them. Maybe they'll know who Atlan is.
I was hoping we would get to meet some of these golems, these enchanted suits of armor from the Eternal Clan, but the ones we saw were all dead.
Strange question, and I know it's going to sound really weird, but curiosity. Do you think we could wear the armor and then them enchant the armor we're wearing, like with themselves, so we get like a bonus to fighting?
The living suit of armor to
Yeah, so
actually
like,
wear?
yes, like say like I put on the living suit of armor, right? And I go to attack, but like the suit's really proficient in sword combat. So, if it's like someone gets close, I can just let the suit take over and fight with the sword while I'm, kind of just sitting there.
I mean, I
Just
think that would be a little restrictive for me, but maybe we found a way to get Ulrich a girlfriend.
There we go.
We'll have to come back here.
I like it. I like the thoughts. I like the thoughts. So we got Ulrich planned out. So we gotta find. We're gonna put you back with the other elves in Necrata and see if your family there. I think you said. I wasn't
Maybe.
paying attention when we were in there. I was really just excited about meeting vampires. So there, boom, got you a wife found. We're going into the halfling clan. Maybe we can find Yarvik a wife. So we just gotta find Kelsey a wife, and we'll be good to go. Which is perfect. We are planning this greatly.
Bane, lol, we're getting wifed up in here.
We are look. All I'm saying is Zippo, like out of character Zippo would be the best wingman. Anybody that's your competition, I'll kill him for you.
The only thing that might make this tricky is we're all already wearing rings.
That's true. Hey, maybe that that might get more people, honestly.
New
Different
group
crowd.
name, the Ring Bearers.
Honestly, I love it. Especially if Zippo manages to get that stuffed bear he always wanted.
Yes.
The ring bears.
We'll have to we'll have to keep an eye out for potential matchmaking targets here in the Halfling clan.
I got you. Don't even worry. And if we see one that we feel like be a really good, perfect match with Yarvik, and we gotta take people out, let me know. I will do anything for you guys. Okay.
We'll keep you in the loop.
Good. And I'm like 58% sure if I go T-Rex and then have you guys, kind of just like tell me to do tricks, that's a bonus points right there. We got this. And at the wedding, if it rains, I can stop it from raining on you. Look, I'm just racking up the good news for the squad. This is all perfect because Zippo got an 8 on his perception, so he's so like into the conversation, just out here.
And if you could see the rolls, you know what Roger's actually paying attention to.
Yeah. Zippo's like over here, just like writing stuff in the sand, like marriage plans for each of the parties, and every one of them has the exact same like a little note underneath, which is Ulrich will pay for it all.
And that Brunhild is the ring bearer.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yes.
You can't get married without having Brunhild there. That's just a problem.
Brunhild is the maid of honor.
Brunhild is the maid of honor, the ring bearer, and the officiator.
It's not going to be Rift?
No. Rift has got to be like 100% the guy that comes in last second, only to make like a joke about the groom or the bride, and then just goes and has fun at the party afterwards.
All right. So, as you two conspire, the day lightens some. It doesn't, it's not fully morning yet till you see the sun, which won't peek out through the mountains for some time, especially with the fog kind of cloaking the valley. Fog has lowered. You can see the mountaintops now, which are snowy, but the fog has kind of filled the valley now. You can not really see too far ahead of you, just up, right? So it kind of almost looks like you're standing on clouds. In the distance, in the mountain range, you see that the mountain range has a bridge that connects the upper peaks from north to south, some miles ahead, way up on the ridges, connecting over top of this valley. It's a huge bridge. The support pillar in the middle seems to be held not by something that reaches down to the valley floor, but some sort of glowing stone that holds the whole bridge aloft. The stone is quite large. Sorry, go ahead.
Just comment. Well, ain't that something?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the something is called a bridge.
I think he's referring to the floating stone in the middle.
Oh, whoa! I didn't even see that. How does it do that?
I want to go stand under it.
Somehow I think that's maybe not a good idea. Like, what if it just falls?
No,
Do you
the
think
bridge
it's
will catch
just
it.
waiting? It's just waiting for somebody to step under it before it falls?
I think that
They'd probably put a
weightless,
sign, right? Like this obviously ancient bridge will completely fall if you walk under the rock. So don't step under the rock. Like there should be a sign. I would hope there'd be a sign.
I mean, I don't know. I can just hear hear and see that thing in my mind, just kind of following with the sound of like a thwomp.
We'll paint some eyes on it and make it give you the side eye.
How high up is the rock?
You can't tell from here, but it's pretty high up in the mountains.
Okay.
The bridge itself is, I should say.
I wonder how we get up there. Do you think there's a path, or are we going to have to awkwardly climb?
It's got to be an important reason to have that bridge up there. So either they don't want to travel through here, or there's a better route. But we have to.
What if? Hear me out. We break the bridge. Therefore, we only have one path to go.
Maybe
Then we
we'll
can't
burn that
take the
bridge
wrong
when we
path.
get to it.
We physically can't take the wrong path if there's only one path.
Sometimes when you only have one choice, it's like you have 0 choices. I don't think we should break the bridge. I feel somebody worked hard on that. Plus, it's way up there, and we're way down here.
We might need to cross it later if this path loops around.
Fine, we won't burn it down.
We'll burn that bridge when we get there, perhaps.
Yay.
Does there appear to be a way to the bridge from where we are, or is it hard to see where it's going?
If there is a road that the bridge follows, it's from up in the mountains. There doesn't seem to be anything that breaks that sheer cliff that you have seen today, yesterday.
I wonder if that road straddles the border between the two clans. Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe. I think we should press on. We need more information about this bridge. I don't think we can get it from where we are.
Yep.
Okay. The party packs up camp and begins heading further down the valley. Any travel notations for today based off of the information I've given you? Sounds like you're going to be stopping once you get close to the bridge. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, we might do some perceiving or some investigating of it once we're closer. Keep an eye out for owls as well.
Zippo is jotting in his book the wedding plans. He's got like notes, like each party member's name, and then like he's writing down like a little like kind of like a small like note of like what story he's gonna tell. And you know, each of them is a different story on how he saved their life at some point in time.
All right, sounds good. All right. I'm going to pull in a bridge just... Nope, that's not going to work. I don't like that. All right. So the party marches on. Well, they use their dinosaurs to do so. The fog seems to continue to kind of stay on the ground. It's kind of hard to see anything on the ground itself or in front of you. It's you just kind of are poking up out of the ground because you're on your dinosaur mounts. So being that your large creatures are keeping you above that, that kind of helps you to kind of see around and are unhindered by the obscuring mist that seems to be surrounding you. If you were on foot, you would definitely not be able to see anything. So that's something to note. You get closer to the bridge, and you do see that the bridge is very, very high up. It's hard to guess how high it is from you, but it seems like at least a mile. An unobtainable amount, unless you had flight. So you do see that the giant crystal is larger than the entire group combined. It seems to support the great weight of the bridge. There are smaller glowing crystals that seem to pepper along the bottom in almost pattern-like. They kind of resemble lettering, but they look slightly familiar to Ulrich as he studies the runes, but they seem to be either in disrepair or no longer forming the letters that they used to. They just vaguely look giant to you. Like they have a giant feel to them, although it's unintelligible what they mean.
Okay.
Think of it as if you were reading a word left on a gravestone that's been worn. So, like, you can see that there were letters there. You could even tell that it might have been English, but you can't tell what the name was at all. You know what I mean?
Yes, sorry, I thought I unmuted again. Okay, so, but there is a giant element to it, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, given the fact that we are in between the halfling, tusk, eternal, and two dragon clans, but not in strictly giant territory right here.
Well, with
Didn't
a
the
history,
giants used to rule all of Relic?
never mind. No history check needed.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's interesting that it still stands, I guess, is what I'm
There.
saying.
Ruins from that time exist in Seregen as well. Why not here?
Well, sure, yeah, I don't know. Just seems like there's a lot of contention in this land. And
And there isn't in Seregen?
well, of course there is. I'm just saying. Not, you know what? Actually, I am gonna say I don't know that there's as much contention. Perhaps, to my knowledge, Seregen is not marching eastward to take over this area right now as we speak. In any case, I'm just saying.
Due to
It's
lack of
interesting.
ability,
Um,
not lack of desire.
right.
That's true. They do have that dumb Marius leading them. They probably don't have enough brains to know how to take stuff over.
I mean, I really hope they're not invading. That would make us look bad.
Yeah. So all I'm trying to say is, this must be of some significance to the clans that remain. If none of them have taken it over, defaced it, it's largely, as far as I can tell, been left to the weathering of time. It must have some importance.
Perhaps they have a respect of archaeology.
Or there's just a whole trade route up there that we don't know anything about.
Sure.
I want to go on the bridge so bad.
Just saying. So we already had the whole party on the back of a polymorphed individual before. Not outside the realm of possibility.
Sure.
I mean, I don't see the need to investigate right now. Maybe if we weren't under pressure to deliver important news. But
Yeah, we've got a meeting to get to, and maybe we'll catch it on the way back.
Right.
Fair enough.
Well, shall we?
Let's go.
Onwards, Tobias. What'd you name your dinosaurs?
This is Reginald.
Reginald?
Not yet sausage.
Dinosaur.
That's an original name. Where'd you get that?
Thought about it.
Very good then.
Roger, you notice in the rubble a gleam as you're passing under the bridge.
I'll check it out.
Okay. You walk your dinosaur over and you can see amidst some stone that may have fallen from the bridge, or maybe the walls, amongst the loose rubble is what looks to be a darkened version of the crystals you see up above.
About how big is it?
It's about the size of Zippo. At least from the that's the impression you get from the amount you can see that's buried, if that makes sense. The size of the one face that you see.
I'll flag the rest of the party down. Hey guys, you were interested in those crystals in that bridge up there. What if I were to tell you that we have one right here, maybe?
Should we take it?
It's buried underneath this rubble, but that shouldn't be too hard for some strapping young lads like you guys to move.
Yeah, it's kind of half buried, so you can kind of see the what seems to be the point that would have been pointing down. Think of it like it's angled more dramatically on the top, and then it tapers down this way on the bottom. The bottom, the taper side, is pointing upward. So if it did come from the bridge, it broke off, and then the heavier side landed first, and then that debris is around it, so the pointier side is sticking out.
It looks like an upside down carrot. Wait, we have carrots in Seregen, right?
I hope not.
We do.
Yes. I would like to try to move the rubble.
They're said to improve your sense of smell, by eating them.
Interesting.
You know, that's just really propaganda that was put together about the the Brothers' War, wherein our side, we found out how to sniff some of the things out. You said it was because we ate so much carrots. I'm kidding.
See, they increase your sense of smell because they smell so bad, taste so bad that it hurts your nose.
Right.
Are you saying you cannot care at all?
Yeah.
I would like to try to move the rubble.
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm not going to need to make a check for this. The rubble's fairly loose. You kind of push away at it, and unbury a good 2/3 of the crystal. It's dusty and dirty in the area where it was buried, but you can still see it's a fairly clear, kind of quartz-looking piece of solid stone. You can see into it a bit. It doesn't seem to have the glow it once did. Yeah.
I'll poke it.
Okay. What are you poking it with?
We'll poke it with something inorganic first, and if I get no reaction, I'll touch it with my hand.
Okay. What's the something inorganic?
I've got a whole bunch of... You know what? We got a big pile of rubble here. I'll poke it with a rock.
All right. You poke the crystal with a rock. Tap. Doesn't seem to do anything.
All right, yeah, I'll poke it with my hand now.
Tap. It's cool to the touch. You realize as you're kind of tapping at it curiously that surely Belzian or Ulrich must have touched the crystal as they were kind of dusting it off while they were clearing the rubble around it.
Sure.
So you feel a little silly, but yeah, no reaction.
Cold, isn't it?
A little bit. Well, this isn't the enlightening experience I expected it to be, but I guess not every shiny thing is.
Zippo is going to pick it up if he can.
It's bigger than you. Now that more of it has been uncovered, it is bigger than you. It comes up to Ulrich's chin. If it, well, at least it looks like it could. It's 2/3 of it is out of the ground. The rest of it is still under the ground, but you can kind of see from what you've dug at that if it was on level, it would probably be about as tall as Ulrich's chin. It's almost 2 Zippos.
You're curious as to whether it has resonance like a tuning fork. So he's going to grab a piece of the shattered rubble that came from the quartz and wing it at just throw it at it, just to see if anything happens.
All right, make a ranged attack with throwing a rock.
I have never done that before. How does that work?
So this is going to be an improvised check. Do halflings still have that funny thing with throwing rocks?
Yeah, the thrown with the rocks.
Yeah,
they're really good at throwing stuff.
So there should be something in your character sheet for that.
Hang on, I'm looking.
I've searched up your character so many times I can just type in your names and Google does the rest. It's great.
Racial traits: lucky, brave, halfling nimbleness, and high. No, actually, it looks like it's not there anymore. Yeah, they don't. Interesting. That is not a halfling trait anymore. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's a 3.5 thing.
Yep.
RIP. See, this is where my knowledge of 3.5 just bleeds everywhere. It's just it seems like every session something that I remember from 3.5 is just present that isn't true. And I'm sorry.
I have a melee, just like an unarmed strike.
So that would be for attacking. It would be like a range, but without bonus. So you'd be using your dex. So just for sake of ease, for actions, make an attack. Yeah, just roll your strength and add 1. Or sorry, roll your unarmed strike but add 1 because it's adding your dex.
13.
Okay. Tink. You hit the crystal. It's thick enough that it doesn't resonate at all. Instead, it just makes a tiny little tinking sound as it hits.
Oh.
Well, as intriguing as this stone is, should we carry on? I mean,
Yeah, we are kind of burning daylight.
Anybody else want to do anything with it?
Nah.
One
Are you
last
just
thing
gonna leave
before we
it?
leave. I would like to, shocking grasp on it.
Okay. Anything you got to do for that?
I just have
There
to
you
like, touch it.
Okay.
It's lightning magic. I don't know if like maybe magic hitting it would be something that happens. Okay.
All right. So you cast Shocking Grasp. What level spell is that?
It's a cantrip.
Okay. So you cast Shocking Grasp into the crystal, and from deep within, you see a slight glow as the electricity kind of sparkles along the outside and then kind of gets sucked into the crystal, and you can see a shimmer of electricity within it, a slight glow for a second, a kind of a shudder from the crystal, and then the glow stops and it grows cold again.
well, fuck. All right. That's significantly weird enough that maybe we should. Ulrich is going to. Ulrich is going to detect magic on the stone.
Okay. Can you? Okay, thank you. All right, so you're going to be concentration for up to 10 minutes. Cast one action. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within you 30 feet. Okay. You see a faint aura around this crystal. And the School of Magic is transmutation.
Alright, well, transmutation. I mean, it would be weird. You have any other cantrips you can do, maybe, Zippo, aside from lightning?
Yeah, I've got fire. It's about it for cantrip. I've got transmutation as well. Prestidigitation.
Yeah, I'm just curious. If you press to digitize this thing, I want to see. I don't know, maybe like clean it. I want to see if it absorbs your spell the way it did with Shock and Grasp.
Maybe it has to be touching it. Shocking grasp was touching.
I mean, okay, do you have like a. You know what? That's a good point. Ulrich will cast Cure Wounds real. Well, no, that's to be on a creature.
Yeah.
Jesus. Ceremony though could be something. ceremony does specific things. So
It'll take you 1 hour to cast.
yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of like a spell that would make sense here. I don't know.
I got
ending.
haste. It's a cut.
I don't think it
30
needs.
foot.
Right.
What if I just spam lightning or shocking grasp on it?
Sure, that also works. Let's just see what it does.
Okay. Suppose it's going to every 6 seconds be an action. He's going to keep spamming shocking grasp on it
Okay.
to see if he can charge it.
Go ahead and cast a couple shocking grasps. So they all work on it. And how much damage is all of those? I guess is the question. Okay.
That'd be 12, 22, 29, 36.
Okay. So each time the shocking grasp is cast, the crystal does seem to glow the same way, but it doesn't glow any brighter or retain the charge. Seems like you're getting the sense, Ulrich, the glow does glow brighter each time, but only just barely. It doesn't seem to have any lasting effect on the crystal.
Right.
Almost like the spells are not powerful enough.
Should I hit it with the larger spell, Ulrich? Hear me out.
No.
Lightning bolt.
Sure, if you want to use your resources.
I'm already entrenched in this thing. We cleaned it off. It was shiny. That's all Zippo took.
Completely valid.
Zippo was going to lightning bolt at it.
Okay, lightning bolt is a 3rd level.
Yep.
Go ahead. All right. Could you give me a description of lightning bolt, please, as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 100-foot long, 5-foot wide blast out from you. So you're like right in front of it. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's shooting it directly into it, and if it goes through it, it hits the ground behind it.
Are you warning anybody before you do this? Aside from the, should I lightning bolt it, Ulrich?
Zippo said, "Should I lightning bolt it?" Ulrich said, "If you want to do it," and then he did.
Okay. Is anybody making any attempt to get out of the way, or do you think that it's going to be a touch attack? I know Yarvik's not there.
I'm getting out of the way.
Behind.
All right.
Gallery back here.
That's the only one I'm giving you guys, okay? Because I know Zippo. He would have just fired right through the crowd. So.
This is why I have armor of resist lightning.
Yeah. I remember that. Oh, Benji. All right, so sorry, he's really messing with his ears. So we're gonna come back from break and see what happens with that lightning bolt. It's about 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna take care of Benji's ears, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We aren't going anywhere. We're just taking a slight break. See you soon. And we're back from the break. Zippo, you cast lightning bolt into the crystal, and the crystal takes the lightning bolt full force. The lightning crackles around it, engulfs the crystal. You see a brighter glow, Ulrich, as the crystal kind of is charged with this electric energy. And there's a shudder and a popping sound, and the crystal is now levitating about a foot off the ground, glowing not as bright as the crystals up above, but it's glowing.
Well, Zippo, you have a new pet.
Yes.
You'll need to put a leash on this one.
Congratulations. It's a crystal.
I love it. I'm like, Zippo's like super excited. Like, he's just kind of staring at it, like wide eyed. He's just like super happy.
That's very handy. Oh. Now that we've done that.
I mean, what's important here is, do we name it? Like, is this the new little Belsey?
How much
Certainly
more
not.
power do we think it have to put into it to get it to fully rise up like the other ones?
Probably more electricity. But go ahead and hit Dwayne as hard as you want to. You know, but let us get to safe distance first.
Is it Dwayne the Rock?
You're fine. I'm sure you'll be okay.
And yep, and I will be okay because I will be somewhere else when you shoot the lightning.
The question is, do we want me to shoot more lightning?
Hey man, it's
Yes.
two spell spots.
Now, did any energy radiate out of that after you hit it? Like, would it be dangerous to touch it? What if we hold on to the crystal while you lightning bolt it? Do you think it would fly us to the bridge?
We can try it.
Oh. Can I hug the crystal?
You could, yeah.
Okay. I hug the crystal.
Okay.
Suppose looking
Don't
to the
hit me,
party to
Zippo.
see if they're okay with me shooting it again.
Don't hit me.
This seems like a bad idea.
I do agree Belgium probably shouldn't be on it because I'm gonna hit it with a stronger lightning bolt.
Okay. I unhug the crystal
Okay.
and
Suppose
stand back a reasonable distance.
suppose gonna prepare another lightning bolt.
Okay.
And alright boys, should I go with a 4th or a 5th level?
I mean, I think if we want to see this thing float further, I guess the most juice you can. But I mean, before you do it, what?
As soon as you said most juice you can, he shot it.
The point of it?
Crack! Boom! Zippo throws another lightning bolt into the crystal, charging the crystal once again. It glows very bright as it's filled with this electric energy, and shoots into the air very quickly, crackling with energy. And after about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, you hear a clink echo through the canyon as the crystal hits the top of the bottom of the bridge. There's one more light
Whoa.
in the bridge.
That could have been me.
It could have been you.
All right, it's nifty.
Huh. So is it like when you fill a barrel with water, but you can fill the crystal with magic?
I think that was definitely worth the spell slots. I feel accomplished. We did a good deed. Let's go brag about it to the rest of the people. As soon as we get to like that meeting, first thing I will tell them is I put a light back up on their bridge for them.
Well, now we've got a few things to tell them. Well, we'd best be on our way, perhaps.
All right. I mean, I'm satisfied.
Hopefully, we've perpetrated a great good here.
Yarvik and Zippo take. Yarvik take 3, Zippo take 4 points of damage as pebbles rain from the sky and land on you at terminal velocity. Almost.
Ow!
They glance off of you. They don't hit you full force. Otherwise, it would have been a lot more damage.
Let's get out from underneath this thing.
Yeah. Try to be nice to the bridge, and then it betrays you.
All right. So, with that, the party is moving on.
I'm taking the rock that hit me.
Okay. You try and find the rock. They all look the same.
I'm gonna take the one that looks the most shocked by lightning.
Okay. Sounds good. There's a darker rock amongst some of the lighter rocks in this section over here, so you pick one of those up.
Done enough good for the day.
All right, so the party continues.
Sounds good.
All right. You travel along the valley. You don't see much of anything passing through other than you. The valley kind of opens up to a woody plain that kind of stretches out from the other side of the mountains. You can kind of see the mountains kind of climbing to the left and the right of you as you're getting closer to the opening of the valley itself. You get to a point where you see similar markings that you saw before back at the foot of the mountain range, back before you encountered the tear, of 2 metal helmets hanging from a ornate piece of wood with wrapped twine, kind of in a God's eye pattern type of thing, kind of overlaying the sticks and the hanging helmets. Presumably marking the end of the Eternal Clan.
Okay. Well, I should be onto the Halfling clan, but we're just gonna kind of click up north for all the mountains, right? We're not gonna. Or do you You feel like a strong urge to travel deep into the Halfling clan's territory, Yarvik.
I'm sorry, say again.
Do you feel a strong urge to travel much into the new territory, or are we all good to try and hug the mountain and get north?
I think we probably should stay on mission. I also think it's highly likely that we'll probably end up meeting some of the Halfling clan. Mountain real estate's prime and all that, so I think we should probably stay pretty close to the mountain.
Works for me.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. You continue a little further and see similar markings to other borders, except these bear smaller skulls. Halfling-sized skulls, Ulrich, or Yarvik, bleh, that you recognize them as halfling.
Well, that's rather brutal.
These skulls have a different look about them than some of the other skulls you've seen hanging about, and you see other markings to the left and right of you, probably about 750 feet interspaced. These skulls have been carved intricately with patterns. They look very ornamental.
Is this anything I would recognize? Does this look familiar to me based on my past?
There used to be a halfling tradition of burying all but the head of the body and then keeping the skull as a keepsake for the family. Sometimes the skull would guard valuables in a halfling home. But
halflings are kind of metal.
The marking thing isn't something that you've encountered. To make it an ornamental thing makes sense, but it's not. You never really kept to that tradition since you haven't really kind of been a part of halfling culture for a while, and you tend to stay light. You don't really keep too many items. You haven't really had a place to rest your hat, if you will. So that's that part of the tradition is not as familiar to you.
Pass that on to the rest of the gang, and it is interesting that, stuff like, that kind of how traditions carry on, even though time and distance, changes things. Some traditions tend to carry through, so that's interesting. Also kind of morbid, but also kind of cool.
It turns out the halflings are metal AF.
Right? Running around in little leather jackets with studs on them and stuff.
Wow.
So as you're kind of at this border, I will say that it is getting dark. You've pretty much been traveling the valley all day, starting kind of more toward the mouth of it, and now you're coming out the other side. Being that this side, you feel a lot more exposed now that you're used to the valley, kind of knowing what to expect in terms of, you could see everything around you. And the fog has cleared up. Since the bridge, it kind of cleared up some until it's now nowhere to be seen. So that being said, do you wish to continue traveling like you talked about earlier and push it, or would you like to rest for the night?
If we've got cover reasonably close, I think we can afford to rest. There's no need to attempt to seriously wear ourselves out here.
Agreed.
All right. Do you wish to rest here by the markings for the territory lands, or would you like to move into the Halfling clan lands, stay outside of it until morning? What's your thought process?
I feel like they're gonna know we're here either way, right? So, I, I guess wherever the best wherever the best local cover looks good, if we can get a spot, that would be great. Either side of the line, I don't think it really matters much.
Anyone else?
I mean, if all things equal, I'd rather be on the Halfling clan side.
Yeah, like that. Slightly off the path, not inconveniencing any other travelers.
Yeah, agreed.
We're mindful.
We're nice guys.
We're good people.
Somebody's got to be.
Oh boy. So, all right, so you cross over into the Halfling territory and look for a spot to rest. You picking out some sort of type of spot in particular, or just any spot will do that looks good?
Anything with something resembling the local cover.
Okay. Yeah, there's a copse of trees with some tall grass and evergreens that could provide cover for you. Checking out the evergreens, you can see that underneath it kind of opens up, so you can kind of rest close to the tree bark or to the trunk of the tree, with the evergreen kind of spilling out, so it kind of creates a natural tent for yourself.
I think again, no fire, and we don't have any tents, so
Does that also mean you don't have any utensils?
No,
I have a lot of knives.
Belzian does everything unarmed.
Which arm? Disarm.
I like that one. All right. Same watches.
Works for me.
That seems acceptable.
Okie dokie. Belzian and Ulrich.
That's a 3.
26. Don't worry, friend. I will be your eyes.
Belzian, or sorry, Ulrich. Early on, you kind of start feeling a little sleepy, so you rub at your eyes, but realize that with being under the evergreen, you came into contact with some sap at some point, and kind of are having trouble with that. you've got sap in your eyes. So you spend the evening kind of figuring that out, trying to deal with that. You provide a funny company to Belzian, but you're not really able to do watch too well. Belzian, on the other hand, you are kind of keeping watch for the both of them, and you notice that the planes seem to have come alive at night. So you look out into the plains that stretch out from the mountain range, and you can see the glow of lights kind of dotting the expanse. It kind of reminds you of stars if they weren't moving so much. But it seems like there's quite a bit of dots of light. Some are blue and some are reddish. So it could be multiple sources of light or varying sources of light. They're kind of pinpricks from here, so you're not sure like what is causing the phenomenon, but there is quite a bit of lighted areas within the plains, and they're moving, as I said.
Interesting.
Not in any formation or any pattern or any singular direction. Just as some added information there.
Well, I think that's neat. Belzian probably blames fairies and or halflings, but stays vigilant.
Halfling fairies.
Oh,
I know, right?
we might know soon. Belzian would point them out to half-awake Ulrich.
I can't see shit, man.
They're there, I swear.
I believe you. I'm just not able to see really.
Ulrich peers out from his crusty eyes as he's trying to wash them out with his water skin.
Well, your loss, I suppose. Think of like the prettiest thing you've ever seen. It's kind of like that, but very far away.
All right, I'm about ready to give up on this, and maybe if I just sleep, I'll get rid of whatever's going on.
It's probably about time for second watch, anyway.
Yeah, looking at Ulrich, it looks like he's having some sort of reaction to the sap, and that's why it's not clearing up. It's no longer the sap anymore. It's his eyes are puffy. It's not a severe reaction, but it doesn't look pretty.
You don't happen to have any allergies, do you?
None that I know of, but
Wow. What a fun time to find out.
yeah.
Ulrich, this is particularly perplexing for you because you've lived all your life amongst the woods. Your last name is Oakenhearth, for instance. So
Yeah.
you come from a lumber family. So not really thrilling you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess allergies aren't technically a disease, so it would make sense that I am not immune.
You're a
Perhaps
human,
there's
not
some
immune.
magical means.
All right, so I think Belzian was implying that you're Ready to hand off watch?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, we saw the dots in the distance. Well, Belzian did, anyways.
All right. Watch is handed off to Yarvik.
What's going on?
Belzian would point out the dots in the distance.
Okay. Can I see them without dark vision? Are they bright enough to see without dark vision?
You can see pinpricks of light, but that's far away. You can't really see anything close without dark vision, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I can cast them.
Check it out. They're so amazing, they're putting me to sleep. Good luck.
All right, so Yarvik with a 17. Oh, I think I hear Benji. Let me let him in.
Yarvik, you hear a cat wailing at the door.
Act of malcontent.
Okay, we back. So with a 17, you do see the lights off in the distance.
Huh. I think that's something.
They don't seem to move nearer to you at all. You do notice that some are up in the air and kind of moving around above you as well. Much closer, but not close to you, just like closer within the area, if that makes sense.
These don't look like the lights from the dead skull head things, do they?
No, that's low to the ground. Wait, lights from the dead skull thing. You're talking about. Are you talking about
Gargoyles?
the Vargoyles from?
Yeah, those, yeah.
So those, they had like I don't think they had any lights like what this is described as. Those were like they had pale eyes.
Mm.
Like they might have glowed red. I might have described them as that, but like this is more natural feeling. You don't get any like unnatural sense from these lights.
Okay. So, like, I don't know, like fireflies or something like that?
Yeah, more like that. But much bigger.
Okay, much bigger than fireflies.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, and the only reason I'm giving you that, it would look like fireflies to Ulrich, those pinpricks of light, if he was able to see well enough. Like for those who wouldn't make the check, they would look like fireflies, but they're more distant than fireflies, and you can see the pinpricks. So that means that they must just be a bigger source of light, if that makes sense.
Okay. So the plan is just to continue to monitor them, and then if they get closer, then I would wake everybody up. But if they're not getting closer, we got a nice they don't mess with us, we won't mess with them thing going on right now.
Okay. um, I guess the only thing to describe for you as you watch the lights is every once in a while you just feel uncomfortable and you itch at your back between your shoulder blades. The only reason I point it out is because it happens. It's been happening pretty much all night. You even had kind of fitful sleeps. You woke up a few times to like scratch your back against the tree while you were taking rest. First watch.
Okay, I will make note for that. See if I need somebody to look at my back in the morning.
Okay. All right. So about mid to late in your watch, Roger wakes from his trance.
Hey, what seems to be going on?
Giant floating lights in the distance.
Oh, perfect.
Pretty sure they're not bad. Pretty sure they don't mean anything. But I'm keeping an eye on them. Also, my back really itches. Come here, scratch my back.
I'm going to look at your back without touching before I scratch it.
Oh, come on, it really itches.
So you're gonna like pull up his shirt to see what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Give me a medicine check.
Oh, this is not Roger's area of expertise in the slightest. But apparently that's not a problem for the D20.
The area where he's scratching seems to be irritated. You're not sure whether that's because he's been scratching at it or if the irritation was before that. But there are a small formation of hives between his shoulder blades.
Yeah, you got something going on there. You probably ought to stop scratching at that.
Huh.
Maybe you're allergic to something here.
That might be. I'm going to have to, when we're out on the trail, I will remember to look for if there is some kind of natural herb or something that is, similar to what I would use back home to create a, like a poultice or, something along those lines. If there's aloe out here, halfling aloe.
Yeah, it's called Hallow.
And I assume I don't see anything special about the lights.
Nothing further of note than what I've notated for others.
Your voice is cutting out a lot for me.
Me?
Yeah.
Is it cutting out for anybody else?
Yeah, I've heard a couple of drops.
Interesting.
Yeah, it goes in and out.
Huh. Well, hopefully it's not affecting stream. Folks who are watching, please let me know if you're seeing anything drop. I do see one mod in chat, Bestro. Let me know if you're seeing any drops in my audio, or anybody else's for that matter. Back if you're there, I would love that input as well. All right, so what I said is nothing further of note than what you already heard described with other groups.
Okay.
Okay, so I heard it cut out there like on Discord, but it didn't do it on stream. So it's Discord being bitchy.
Okay. Let me leave and come back real quick, just to see if that helps.
Oh, the way out.
DM's gone riot.
I have a Discord crash twice on me in the past week. I don't know. They must have pushed out some kind of weird update.
Yeah,
Thanks,
mine's been
Discord.
like getting me random messages like, "Oh, this is Discord's birthday thing," and so it's been like constant spamming pretty much
Does it sound any better now?
so far.
Why was their soundboard activated?
Oh, apparently I have access to that.
Interesting. Let's refrain from that till like there's something
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
celebrate. I mean, I actually don't mind it. Like that's a perfectly fine use for us. Something that most D&D groups don't get right is the sound effects when they want to celebrate something or whatever the case might be. But as long as we're not abusing it, I'll be fine with it.
Yep.
That's actually pretty cool. Yarvik, it comes time for you to go back to sleep.
Yorvik will do so with glee.
All right.
And
to
we'll
wake
wake
up.
up Zippo.
The man, the myth, the legend, the crystal lighter. Hot dog. I lit that crystal, I'll tell you what.
Zippo is still riding the high from
Yep.
lighting that crystal earlier and isn't looking at anything.
He lit the crystal in his dream, too.
All right. So Zippo basically hears that there's glowing lights in the distance and thinks that they must also be crystals that have been lit. So that's all he's thinking about now.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, probably don't want to get too close to those. They'll fall on top of you. Does anything else of note happen on the third watch?
Roger, with your perception check, you notice that the lights seem to be more toward the east than they do to the south. In fact, probably about an hour into Zippo's shift, you notice that a grouping of bluish lights that were maybe somewhere in, and this is a very rough, image here. So this is not exact by any, but like to the southwest of you, in quick succession, maybe 5-6 different lights just go out.
Do they appear to be going out like from west to east or just at random?
At random.
Okay.
As morning approaches, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'm gonna point that out to Zippo. If he can in fact see them.
Some fireflies or some crystals just went out, Zippo.
Oh, maybe we should go over there so I can light them back up. Like I did that other one, because I'm that cool, you know?
Let's try it in the morning. But I am
Okay.
curious what happened over there.
Make sure you remember that spot so we can go over there. Lighting up those crystals is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll make a. You know what? I'll make a mark in the ground with a stick or something in the vaguely in that direction so we can remember it when everyone else wakes up.
Okay.
And then that's it.
Cool. All right. As the shift wanes on, the sun eeps out some light, starting to illuminate. As it grows lighter, the balls of light, maybe about a half hour before that sun break happens, kind of go out. Not as sudden as before, they kind of just fade away. And then as light comes out, you try and scour the area to see if you can see what the source of the light might have been, and nothing proves evidence of what it could have been.
Mysterious.
Sad. No light to light.
Am I still breaking it in and out, by the way, or did me leaving and coming back help?
It's not been so bad so far.
Cool.
You haven't had as big as ones.
I'll take it from Roger's silence that might not be the case for him.
I'm not sure what they are. I'm inclined to think dangerous.
No, I was checking to see if I had any more sound issues with you, but if you missed it, then that might mean that you are still not having great sound issues with me.
It's been mostly okay, but it's sometimes I have the map up and I can't tell when you're not talking.
Yeah. All right, so it is morning.
Shall we continue out into the Halfling lands? Is everyone feeling all right? Is Yarvik still itchy?
Yarvik is no longer itchy.
Interesting. So I'm just gonna ask: are the hives gone?
There's still evidence of you having itched that area. Yes.
Okay.
Or no. I guess is the correct response.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Just where I was scratching.
Yeah.
And Ulrich's eyes are better.
Yeah, they're good.
Okay.
No lasting damage for a natural one.
Appreciate it.
All right, so Roger has marked a spot in the ground pointing southeast or southwest. Me and my directions.
Yeah, last night, a few hours before dawn, we saw some lights go out kind of all at once in that direction.
And I, as the party, lighter, we should go over there so that I can light them.
I mean, I appreciate that, but that's exactly the opposite direction that we're heading, right?
Not exactly. I mean, we're going at least a little bit west, right?
We do have to clear the base of this mountain, which looks like it's going to be most of a day's travel.
All right.
I mean, we can walk a day out in that direction anyway, and worst case scenario, we're slightly more south than where we started. We have to go west anyway. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Well, if we're already going that way, perhaps we can investigate.
Yay, more lights to light.
plus it'll make Zippo happy.
Zippo ecstatically looks in the direction of the lights he needs to light up.
Okay. So the party packs up and travels southwest. couple hours later, the group spots an area that's kind of in the midst of the plain that, since it's, bright green grass, lush fields everywhere, it's unmistakable to see kind of a scar upon it in the direction that you're traveling. Seems to be a blackened, dead circle.
Does this look like the ground that was tainted by whatever was happening by the tear?
It does.
Oh boy,
The,
that's bad.
the circle, as you approach, is exactly a circle. As if somebody placed a large barrel on the ground, traced it out, and blackened that whole area. In other words, it's not natural.
And it's got those kind of sickly, diseased plants.
Yeah. The grass that's there is sickly and diseased. And you almost didn't spot this, but you see 5 or 6 bodies amidst the circle, laying in the decaying grasses.
What kind of bodies?
They seem to be small in stature.
Like smaller than Zippo or small as in...
Between Zippo and Yarvik's heights.
Oh no, children.
Or, halflings.
Oh, right.
Do they look like the halfling skulls that we saw earlier?
Well, they're corpses, they're not skeletons.
Oh, okay.
The question is, do you go into the circle to inspect them, or are you trying to spot from afar?
Just from far, yeah. I don't really feel the need to go in that circle.
Can I pick a bunch of grass and then throw it in the circle and see what happens?
Sure. You grab a tuft of healthy-looking grass. It's actually almost hard to break because you grab such a large amount. It rips out by the root, and you chuck it in. Kind of some of the flecks of grass kind of fly off in every direction, but some of it lands within the circle and stays healthy. Well, for now.
Belzian cocks an eyebrow at the rest of the crew.
Yeah, I'm still not trusting a perfect circle of demon blight. Too bad for those guys, but
What if we pull the corpses out of it?
We can try.
One does seem to be closer to you. You could maybe try and get that one out.
Oruk will reach in and grab the person.
It's about 15 feet in.
Okay, Ulrich will go in.
Okay. Ulrich steps into the circle, pauses for a second to see if anything happens, shrugs, and walks over, grabs the corpse, and pulls it out by an arm. It's fairly light. The corpse does remind you of a child, in terms of how big it is.
Is it like burned beyond recognition, or
It seems whatever affected this thing, much of its skin has sloughed off. And you can see bones, almost like the skin's melted in some sections. You notice that on the back of this particular body is two pairs of wings. So 4 wings in total. They're mangled, or broken, or crumpled. One's missing, except for like a stub at the end.
I think this likely solves our Firefly mystery.
You think so? What do you think the connection is?
I don't know. I think they glow. Or they had something they were carrying that glowed. And, well, Yarvik wasn't awake for when they waked out, so. But that's Yarvik's theory, is that these were what the flying, glowing entities were.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I want to go fly.
Why all the dead halflings then?
Well, sorry, but
Go ahead.
this is not a halfling. So are the other bodies, from what we can see, halflings? We'll go back into the circle to just investigate them.
Unless they're demons that look like halflings, I guess.
Each of them seems to be about similar size. You're not sure whether they're men or women by their mangled states, but each one shows evidence of wings on their backs.
Okay. Oh. I mean, unless halflings have wings in this land, these are not halflings.
I guess
You're
just because we're in the halfling lands doesn't mean those are the only creatures that inhabit this place.
Right.
Do we see clothes, effects, other things that would lead us to believe that they're intelligent and not just like, creatures of the land?
They had clothes, yes. Some of the clothing is, it seems to be mostly leather in make, although some seem to have some mechanisms made out of metal that are, at this point, rusted or kind of burnt up with whatever the attack was. It seemed to have damaged these items beyond recognition. The leather itself, some of it is like, it almost seems to be fused to the skin. It's not something where you'd be able to remove it. It's now a part of this corpse.
I would say this is definitely something that is worthy of reporting. We know we're already reporting one incursion. It looks like the incursion, whatever is happening, is spreading. So,
Right. Sorry. There's something just. Ulrich is going to look around. Are they. He knows roughly where he pulled the one from, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But are they specifically patterned? Did I miss that?
I didn't mention any specific pattern, just that there were 6 bodies within the circle.
Right.
They are all within the circle. None of them are like sticking out at all. They seem to all be centralized around sort of this, like a specific section of the circle, but they aren't placed like They aren't placed purposefully in an area, if that's what you're trying to get at, like in a pattern.
Right. Okay. Oh, then Ulrich is less concerned.
Zippo's just staring at their wings, like, and every couple of minutes, it's like, man, I wish I could fly like that.
I don't think they're going to be doing much flying anymore, Zippo.
Yeah, but just imagine how much fun it was to fly.
This is greatly distressing. Do you think there's a chance of a miniature tear happening here as well?
I
could see
mean,
it.
yeah, signs seem to point that way.
Ulrich, as you're kind of standing in the circle and working your way back out, you step on a blackened short sword that you missed within the blades of grass.
That's interesting. He'll, yeah, he will pick up this grass blade.
Okay. So this is a short sword. It seems to be made for a medium creature, so you could use it as a short sword. Since it's damaged, you could still utilize it, but it would probably not do the same amount of damage a normal short sword would.
Right. I mean, Ulrich he'll do two things: detect magic on it, which he'll cast real quick, and then he'll offer it up to Yarvik.
Okay. It does glow with a faint aura. It seems to have an origin of necromancy and conjuration.
Does this look like something? Does it look like something we would craft?
In fact, the entire circle glows with this energy, including the blackened corpses.
Sacrificial dagger.
Can Zippo make an Arcana check?
Sure. What are you specifically trying to figure out with your check?
Trying to see, like, since it's glowing with, like, necromancy magic and stuff, I'm trying to see if, like, maybe Zippo might have heard of a spell that does this or something.
Since it's got traces of necromancy and conjuration, it doesn't seem to have something that enchants it itself. It feels more based on what Ulrich is describing that it is. It gives off that energy because of the byproduct of whatever happened here. Seemingly, especially since the rest of the area and then the people themselves that are anything that was blackened also holds that same energy. With that check, you assume that if Ulrich had done a detect magic on the darkened grass near the tear, he might have also encountered similar auras.
How many other circles are there within our field of view?
This is the only one you can see.
Okay.
But you see no evidence of what might have caused it, other than the circle itself.
So no tracks leading to or from or anything like that?
No. That's the oddest part to you, Yarvik, is you don't see any tracks.
Everything that arrived here either flew here or came in through a door from somewhere else. Or meteor, just saying, could happen.
I mean, they have wings. I'm not surprised to hear that there aren't tracks.
Right.
That tracks.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, that big guy obviously had the power to, open up a tear. Who's to say he doesn't have the power to, open little tears? Or, maybe he knows somebody that has the power to open little tears. Maybe he has, a family member, a little one.
So what do you think? Should we bury them?
Might as well.
Yeah. I don't know what the tradition is for their people, but
Right.
I don't think we should just leave them here.
Did anybody bring a
They
shovel?
don't have the wall up anymore, so we can't just toss them into the wall.
Yeah, I wonder why the wall's gone.
Zippo,
Craziest
I'm
thing
giving
ever.
you inspiration for that because you're using your background, and that's like a obscure piece of history from like forever ago. So have it.
Thank you.
These are making me uneasy. I vote we keep on going.
Oh, looks like we've got a raid from Riv. Welcome in, Rivenari. Hope you're all well. Thank you for the raid. We're in the middle of a D&D session, everyone, so I apologize if I don't chat with you folks too much. We just encountered a disturbing sight, and the group is kind of working through that right now. But welcome, everyone, and hope you stay a while and listen. Stay a while and listen.
Stay a while and listen.
Alright, well, I mean, I'm fine with airing them, I suppose, but gruesome as it is, I'm also fine with just leaving them be.
I'm also more thinking for any of their people that would come behind and see that we treated their corpses with respect might pay dividends in the future.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Let's take that knife, though.
Oh yeah, free loot, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't need it anymore.
Yeah. Look, everybody knows one dead body's items is another man's treasure.
All right.
What is archaeology but grave robbing?
All it takes is time until it's not grave robbing anymore, right? All right. So if we're burying the bodies, who's got the shovel?
I might actually have a shovel in my backpack. I do not.
I think I've had this discussion a few times.
I'm currently looking.
I have a pickaxe.
Pickaxe will do it.
Pickaxe is like a shovel.
Yeah, Ulrich can use his shield as a kind of like scooper of things. Pickaxe will break the ground up.
Okay. Where are you digging the grave? Are you digging 5 graves or a mass grave?
Let's do 5 very close together graves.
That's fine.
A mass grave. Okay.
I mean,
I know mass grave depicts something, has implications to it, but I mean, like, if you're doing a line of graves that are very close together, that's basically the same.
And then little individual mounds. Yes.
Are we doing it in the demonic blight circle or out of it?
I think outside the circle. I
What if
would
we do it
stay there.
circling the circle?
No, yeah, I'm thinking outside and not circling the circle personally.
I'm not the one digging. I'm just the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zippo chimes in with thoughts for how to dig tunnels.
Yep.
Which is not helpful since we're not digging tunnels. All right. Give me. So, Ulrich, I assume you're the one digging.
Yep, that makes sense.
Anybody else? I guess we only have one pickaxe. Is that correct?
True.
Okay. Ulrich, just give me one strength check so I can see how long this takes you.
Okay.
And I guess that's athletics, I should say.
Okay.
Sorry.
In which case, instead of 15, 9. Or I'm sorry, 19.
19. Okay, cool. All right. It takes you a good half hour or so, but you managed to dig what you feel is a satisfactory entry zone for these bodies to pass into the earth. Feel free to describe how what small ceremony the group does for these 6 bodies.
I was going to press the digitation to clean up their bodies a little bit, if possible.
Okay. It doesn't do too much because it's not necessarily that they're dirty. It's more that they're disfigured.
Yeah, after he tries it on the first one and it doesn't really like do a lot, he'll switch it and he'll just do like a faint musical note. It's kind of like a Zippo's versions of like a funeral hymn. So it's just kind of like solo guitar riffs back there,
Okay.
just faintly.
Who's laying the bodies?
I'll drop them in there.
Okay. Who's covering
Belzian's
up
got
the bodies?
experience.
Anybody covering up, like pushing the earth back on?
Yeah, I can move some earth around with my feet.
Okay. Anybody helping Yarvik?
Yeah,
I
over.
think this is like a group effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything said before you move on?
Belzin will offer a brief prayer to Tolu, the god of death.
Cool. All right. Once everyone's satisfied, it takes a moment. I assume you move on.
Yeah.
Yep. Keeping an eye out for more of these circles.
Okay. Sounds good.
I mean, we found what we were looking for. Should we head north now?
Oh yeah, yeah. We need to make haste.
Yeah, situation's not getting better.
All right. The group begins heading northwest. Oof. You head northwest very fast. All right. Northwest to go around that mountain that kind of sticks out in the mountain range there.
Yep.
All right. you round the mountain and see the mountains kind of towering and stretching off into the horizon. The spine that leads to Saraseta kind of arching out in front of you. Obviously, you don't see the whole spine out this way or the rivers that come out of them, but you do know from the map that these mountains will lead you to the capital of the Relic kingdom, the Kingdom of Relic, the clans of Relic, I guess is the official term, right? The mountains directly north of you seem to be the largest mountains within this mountain range, and you can kind of make out a lone road that kind of meanders its way up the mountain that you can see from here. It seems to pass into the range itself. It doesn't lead down to where you are, but you can see that there is a road on the mountain spine.
I knew it.
All right. Good to see a nice road.
And just as a repetition there, in case it got cut off, that road doesn't lead down to where you are. It's just there. You can see evidence of that road from here because it kind of meanders up. Oh.
I mean,
So
any
not-
road is better than what we have.
But it is not a Gesundheit. It's not a path that will need to walk at any point, by the sounds of it. Correct?
I'm just pointing out that it's something that you can see from here.
Okay. Cool.
What you do with that information is up to you.
And the road is it's zoomed way out on the map. Is it running? It's up in the mountain range itself.
Yes, running up the mountain and then north.
I mean, in theory, we could probably follow that. I wonder if the bridge is connected to that road.
Go Bray.
I did put the light back on the bridge.
Well, northward until evening.
Works for me.
Yep. Tally ho.
Indeed.
Okay. I would like people to make perception checks for me, please.
Do I have disadvantage because it's daytime?
Yes.
8. That's pretty good.
That's actually, like, phenomenal. Jesus. Belzian's the last one left. No, I see it. It's the 24, right? Yeah, okay.
24.
I
Well,
freaked
I-
out with the beginning stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, getting a 19 is what, 1 in 100 on with disadvantage. That's pretty 19 or better is 1 in 100 with disadvantage. That's great.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Impressive. All right. So out in the plain to the southwest, everyone but Ulrich spots what can only be described as a moving hill. The hill moves slowly but surely in a southern direction. The hill has trees on it and grass and what looks to be a settlement. Close study of the hill it shows that there's some movement at its base, but from this distance, it's kind of hard to make out with your eyes what that might be. But there's definitely what looks like a hill with a village on it moving southward. It's about here.
I mean, it's not the direction we're going, but maybe we can stop and say hi.
Stop where now?
What was that?
Well, I said the village, the hill with the village on it is not going in the direction we're going, but perhaps we could flag them down and say hi to the inhabitants there.
Oh shit, is that thing moving? Yeah, I mean, it is going the opposite direction. Are we gonna be able to catch it?
That is a good question.
It's coming right towards us, I assume.
It's heading southward.
But is it coming towards us southwards?
No,
or is
due
it like...
south. So it's
So
like
okay.
here and moving. Let me get the ruler out. This direction.
I mean,
If we book it, we could cut it off.
let's attempt to try to meet it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, all
At
right.
the very least, we can let them know of the neighboring demon invasion.
Yeah.
That was my point. They may want to know that probably not a good idea to keep traveling south.
Maybe they're like, the demon extermination squad, so like they're going south to kill the demons.
In that
Well,
case,
that
they
would be convenient.
may want to know.
They also need to know that we put that light back on the bridge, or I put that light back on the bridge.
Technically, that was on the other side of the clan boundaries, so maybe they don't need to know that.
That's Let's look at.
All right, so you are racing to meet up with the moving hill with the village on it. So you're kind of trying to cut it off. Are you going due east or west, excuse me, or are you doing like a more like trying to head directly toward it and course correcting as it moves?
Directly west.
Directly west to
Yeah,
cut
we're
it
gonna
off.
lead our shot here. Like go to where the village will be, not where it is.
I will also say at this point, I'm pointing this out, but it is getting to late day. Moving in that direction, you'll be in this area maybe a couple hours after nightfall. Because you traveled here and then here, so that's like a full day right now, as a heads up.
Well, we can get a little bit closer to it. We have to go west later anyway. And maybe they have to stop for night too. At the very least, when we stop, we can light a campfire and see if that attracts any attention.
All right. So you traveled due west. For how many hours? Are you pushing it a little bit because you're a group on a mission, or are you gonna stop and cast a fire as soon as it's time to rest?
I mean, how much closer are we gonna get for pushing it?
So it would be here if you stop, and here if you push it.
Are we willing to push it for an hour and risk some of us getting exhausted?
Yeah,
An
I'd say
hour
so.
won't hurt us. I say we go for it.
Concur.
All right.
All right.
The hill is moving at a good pace, but isn't moving fast enough to meet where you are by the time you stop. You feel like you're fairly close to where its path will be when it gets to you, if it stops for the night or tomorrow. If it keeps going, it might pass close enough by that during a watch you'll be able to see it. The village is illuminated as it grows dark, so you can kind of still make out the hill, which still continues to move at night as you stop to make camp. Does anybody use anything to try and get a better look at this thing?
Somebody's got a spyglass, don't they?
Oh yeah. I used it to look at that thing. Yeah, I'll pull out the old trusty dusty spyglass.
Okay. So Zippo, with your spyglass, you look through it. Give me a perception check at disadvantage. Oh no, it's getting dark. I'll give it to you at normal.
Not too great, but
Okay. You can see at the base of the thing that there's great scaly feet moving. There's two on the side that you can see. And there seems to be a great head in the front, with kind of trees densely populated around the head and the back of this beast. It moves in a shuffling pattern, slowly, but like because it's so big, slow doesn't really mean too much, right? It's moving faster than a horse could probably, but it's big enough. Go ahead.
As he sees like the scaly legs and stuff, he goes, "Guys, they are living on a dragon."
That is your dream.
I need this in my life.
Well, we should light a fire and try and attract their attention.
I agree.
All right. So y'all build a fire for the first time forever. I assume you gather wood and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay. How big do you make this fire?
Maybe a little bit bigger than a normal campfire.
Okay.
Yeah, we've
Not-
got to
not-
make up a long time.
Sure.
Maybe like 3 campfires put together.
So a bonfire.
It needs to be at least 3 times bigger than this.
All right. Are you going to sleep? Are you waiting for it to get there? Like, what's the plan here?
Whoever's on first watch can attempt to flag them down. Probably Zippo, since he's so excited.
Yeah, sure. Supposed to have a first watch for the first time in ever. He's always the third watch guy.
Roger's been enjoying trancing on first watch here, so he's gonna go keep doing that.
Okay. Well, the creature gets closer and closer and closer. It's not really something that can sneak up on you. The footfalls are. I remind you kind of the Dragonlands a bit, right, with the big booming footprints and great beasts breathing. But this thing, as it gets closer, hill was a good term for it because it is bigger than Rift was. Zippo. It's enormous. I mean, something has to be big enough. Something big enough to have a village on it is pretty big, right? So, and I think, based on what time it is and whatnot, I think as the footfalls approach and the group waits in anticipation for what is to come, we'll end it there for tonight.
Little teaser.
What could it be?
What indeed? For those of you who want to find out, then you'll have to come back in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today is June 13th. That's the Tuesday after Nashville for Shade.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Affirmative.
Cool. All right. Ulrich, don't leave too soon after the session. I just have a question to ask you, but we are going to end it at 10:41. So giving everybody a couple of minutes back for the evening. But for those of you out there in Twitchland, thank you for watching. Riv, thank you for that host from earlier, and I appreciate all of you being here and watching this group. We will see you in 2 weeks' time for a continuation of this long journey that we're on. Have a great night and be safe. Bye. Thank you for watching.
GG.